5C2.
Sir,
Have you executed your servlet program?
no, sir. Actually, my system, I mean, it is not in good condition, sir. I mean, so I did not install that Tomcat 2, so that's why I did not execute any of them.
Okay, okay, thank you. Any other student in the class who have executed the servlet program? There should be response from the class. Who is 5C1? I see one completed. 5E1. 5E1. 5G2. See, I need response from the class. If I don't get the response, how I could continue? There should be response from the class. It is not like just you are switching it on and you are just leaving it. 5H8. 5H8.
Sir,
Have you executed servlet program?
no, sir.
Why? May I know the reason?
Actually, I'm not getting to install Tomcat in my system, sir.
Okay. So no one of you executed, I think most of the people haven't executed the servlet program. Do you know the procedure for that one? How to execute the servlet program? If you don't know, if you tell me, then I will repeat it and I will take one session how to do it with the help of a Eclipse IDE. Okay, no need to install, no need to have a typical process of traditional process like installing Tomcat separately, writing the program and deploying it there. So I will tell you the easy method. Just install your IDE and just download the Tomcat server and configure it to the IDE, so that from there you can easily execute the this particular servlet programs. I will just show you my screen so that you can easily understand. Can you see my screen? Eclipse IDE. Can you see my screen? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can.
Can you see the Eclipse here? Eclipse workspace. Yeah. So see here, I have created one servlet file. So in this, what I did is I just installed Eclipse IDE here. That is use it for web development. So and then I have been downloaded Apache Tomcat version number 9. Okay, I configured it with it here, and I'm just writing a simple program. So you can see here. So this is what your simple servlet program. Okay, so just it is very easy, no need to follow the traditional approach. Right here, whenever you are going to create it here, from here you can go to the file and you can create. I will tell you the procedure. So and easily you can write your program here. So if you want to create another program, just you can go for here and you can write it here new, and then you can create a Java servlet file. Just you can create a Java servlet file. A new servlet file will be created and you can just write the code, and it is also very easy to run the program. Just you can right click here and run on the server. So see, it is very easy. You can easily run on the servlet on this particular machine. So I need feedback from you, whether you are interested in this or not. If you already have completed this session, then I will skip this and I will go to the JSP. If you want, I will take one separate session for how to install this Eclipse IDE, how to configure the Tomcat into this your Eclipse IDE, and how to create a servlet files and how to execute the servlet files. I need some responses. Do you need or not? Yes, you have to tell me. If you don't tell, how can I get? Rohit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What? Most of the people are telling that they haven't executed, configured the servlet environment, and they haven't executed the servlet programs. What you are saying? Have you done it?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, yes, sir. We actually got few programs, so it's just for, I mean, subjective, sir. So, some
Okay.
who had the accessibility, they did it, and who didn't, so they didn't. But yeah, so like this thing, if we want, we can have a separate session for this thing, configuring everything, or else we can just continue right now. I'm okay with both the things, sir.
Okay, what we will do is we will take one separate session and for the several entire servlets, and in that class we will discuss 3 examples, like how to first of all we will see how to configure it, and then we will see a basic example like this hello servlet, and then we will see some thing related to your manual and lab manual, whatever you have, and also we will discuss one example that is related to your JDBC connectivity. Where this all we will do in the next week, one of the class we will select it, and we will do it. Okay, for today we will continue with the JSPs. Okay, is it fine?
Okay, sir, it's fine.
Can you see the PDF now? Can you see the PDF?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So right, see here, today we will discuss about your module 4. In this module 4, we are going to discuss about your introduction to your Java server pages, that is JSP. We call it as short as JSP. JSP in a sense Java server pages. Okay, in this the content, first of all I will brief you the contents, then we will go into the topic. So coming to first we'll discuss about your introduction to JSP. What is JSP? What are the uses of JSP? What are the advantages of the JSP over servlets? And how we can use the JSPs in your web development. That basic introduction we will see. And then we will go for your anatomy of your JSP pages. And in anatomy means what we are going to, what type of tags that we are going to use, what type of other things that you are going to use, how you are going to execute JSP pages on a particular server, that we will be discussing. And then we are having some processing statements are there, how to process the JSP statements, that we will be discussing. And also then we will go for in depth of your creation of your JSP pages, like how to declare the variables, how to declare the constants, or any other particular objects in your JSP pages, that we will be discussing. And also to write these particular JSP pages, to implement these JSP pages, we need to use some directives and expressions. Okay, so we will also discuss about these, what are the directives that you are going to use, and what type of expressions you are going to handle, I mean writing, that we will be see. And also we will see about the basic code snippets, how to write the code, small codes. And also we'll see implicit objects, that is what are the inbuilt objects that are available in your JSP pages, that we will see. Okay, and then these JSP pages are mostly dependent on your Java beans, because whenever you execute a JSP page, then it will be split into your bean. Okay, then that concept we will see what happens exactly when you are going to process a Java server page, how it is going to split into a Java bean, that we will see later. Okay, and also we will cover the topic of cookies and session handling and session tracking in this JSP pages when you are designing, similar to your how you discussed in your servlets. And then last we will see how to connect, we will make a real-time application, overall application we will create. Like for example, we will create a registration form. With the help of registration form, we will read the data from the user and we will process it using a JSP page, and we will store it in the MySQL database. And also we will write a application where we are going to read the data from the database and we are going to post it to the particular user, right? This is what we are going to discuss in this module. So hope today we will discuss about your introduction to JSP pages. So I already told you that generally whenever we are having a web application, in web application, in a web app- sorry Generally, in a web application, we are having three different layers. The three different layers are, that is, we are having a presentation layer, and also we are having a business logic layer, that is your application layer, and also we have a database layer. So generally, these JSP pages are used to implement your business logic. This is the second layer of your web application. Okay, what is the use of a business layer is to process, for example, whenever a client is going to send you some request. Okay, for example, he is going to ask you for a request of processing some data, then this page is going to, business layer is going to read the data, it is going to process it, and then it is going to forward it to the appropriate server, whether it is a data server or any other particular server. Okay, that is a use of your business logic layer. So at the business logic layer, generally we used to have different types of technologies. We can use different types of technologies as already discussed. We can use servlets, we can use JSPs, we can also use ASPs, active server pages, and also we can use PHP. These are the various types of technologies that can be used at your business logic layer. Okay, then we can have a question like, generally we have servlets. The first type of technology that was created is your servlets. But the problem with servlets is every time when you write a servlet code, if you have any modification, you need to recompile the servlet file again and again. For example, let us assume that you have written a line of the code. Okay, so now you have compiled this servlet and you have placed it in the server. Okay, now the user is accessing this particular servlet. Okay, this is fine and good, this is a general process. But next time whenever you have a change in your servlet file, in your code, what you have to do, again you have to write that particular code, and again you have to compile this particular, if you want to make the changes you have to compile it, and then you have to store the class file in the server again. When the next time the user is accessing that file, the new changes will be applicable for that one. So this is the main problem with your servlets. So, and also these servlets are generally these servlets are written in your Java programming language. So means it is very complicated. It uses so many classes and methods and interfaces. So writing your Java code is very complex in nature when you are having your web applications. So for minimizing these problems, that is code writing problem, the new technology was created. That new technology is known as your Java server pages. Okay, so these Java server pages are generally used for your server side processing at your servers. Okay, alternate to your servlets. So generally, another important thing about this Java server pages is you can create dynamic web applications using your Java and Java server pages. Well, generally, we have two types of contents, that is a static content and also a dynamic content. Static content is fixed content. For example, if you are writing some static content, you are executing it n number of times. First time you execute it, the same output you will be getting. Second time you are executing, the same output you will be getting. Third time, in this way, n number of times you execute, you will be getting the same type of content. Whereas coming to dynamic content is going to change every time. When you are executing first time, it will show you some X content. the second time it will be changing, right? So this is what the dynamic content. For example, a video is a dynamic content, okay? But if you take a text, like for example, if you open this PDF file any number of times, this paragraph will be same, right? This is known as a static contents. Instead of this, if I'm going to place a particular video here or a particular image here, then it will be a dynamic content. It is going to, the images are going to change and the video is going to be changed. That is what known as our dynamic content. To handle this dynamic content, we can make use of these our Java server pages. So generally for presentation purpose before JSP, for presentation purpose we make use of HTML. This already you know. So for if you want to display anything on your browser, you are using your HTML, and this HTML you are using different types of tags, right? For example, you want to display a particular header, okay, then you are using header tags like h1, h2, h3, h4 and so on. Okay, if you want to display the data in a table, then you are using a table tag. Okay, if you want to display some images, you are using some image tag. Okay, in this way we have different types of tags are used in your HTML, right, for displaying your content. Okay, this is all known as your basic static content. Okay, whereas now JSP pages is also using the HTML, but the difference is in JSP pages we are using your Java code also. It can also accept the Java code, whereas HTML files we cannot add any Java code in the HTML tags. That is what the main difference between the HTML presentation and JSP presentation. I hope you understand. Okay, for presentation purpose we can use two things, that is your HTML and also Java server pages. What is the difference here? In HTML you cannot add any Java code, whereas in JSP pages you can add the Java code. For example, if you want to write like system.out.println, this is possible in your JSP page, whereas this is not possible in your HTML page. For example, in this example you can see this is a simple HTML file, that HTML body. Okay, this is just a text line, this will be printed, but when you try to execute this one, this will be not printed, because this is going to show you that current time is here you are using Java dot new object is created. This is instance will be created for what? Java dot util dot date, means it have to display the date, current date should be displayed. This code will not be executed in your HTML file. Okay, I will show this you practically when we go to the practical session. Okay, whereas for example if you write the same code in your JSP, then this will be showing you current date. Okay, this also I will show you. Okay, so this is the main difference between HTML presentation and your JSP presentation. Hope you understand. So here we discussed 2 points, that is what is JSP, what is the use of JSP. JSP stands for your Java server pages, and it is advantage of this one is to create the dynamic content compared to your HTML's static content. And also what is the advantage of your JSP is a difference between HTML and JSP is in HTML you can write only static content, and also it does not accept any Java code, whereas in JSP you can use the HTML tags, and also it also capable of accepting your Java code like this. Okay, this is a major difference. Coming to, for example, if you want to create a simple JSP page, by the end of this class, I will show you how to create a JSP page in the IDE. Just example is, the difference is, this is a basic HTML program and this is a JSP program. What the difference we can observe here is, so first line is the difference. Okay, so this is how we are going to write the JSP content. Here you are going to write a JSP comment here, and also we need to write some other things that I will show you practically. So in this, see here what we are writing a HTML, that what already you know, and you are writing a head section and title section, and also you are writing the body section. In the body section you are just writing a line of your Java code here. What is the Java code here? This is system.out.print hello sample JSP code. So this you are writing it in a tag. This tag is known as a JSP tag, output tag. Okay, so this is what you are going to do, so that this Java code will be executed in this HTML file. Whereas if you do it, if you save this one as a .html, it will show you an error. Error means, I mean, it will not show you the appropriate output. This statement will not be executed. Despite, instead of that, what you need to do is you write this program and save it as .jsp. For example, my file name is hello. Okay, then I should save it as hello.jsp instead of saving it as hello.html. Understand? So here, this is what we are going to do it here, and we are going to deploy it on the server, and we are going to execute it. So it is, if you execute this one, it will be giving you this particular hello sample JSP code. Okay, so in this, what we are writing is, we are writing some JSP comments here. So these are the directive tags that you are using here. So these are the known as your JSP tags. Whatever you write in this less than percentage symbol, then you have to write the code that whatever you are writing, whether you are writing a comment, whether you are writing any Java code, whatever you are writing, this should be written inside this particular tags. Like you are having a opening tag and a closing tag in HTML, the same should be done here. Okay, coming to here, generally whatever you write, I told you that you should write it in between these two tags. Okay, and then coming to your head section and title section, already you know that head section is in head section you will write the basic information about your file, and in the body section title you will mention what is the title of the page. Body text, already you know that whatever the code you want to execute, that you are going to write it. So this is a simple Java output code that I already told you, that is system.out.println, that you are going to print it. So scriptlets, here you have to write the executable code. Whatever the code you have to write, you should write within this particular tag, as already I told you. So that is what about your basic JSP and how it is going to be used here. Generally, JSP is used creating your dynamic web pages. Means it can also create your static content and also your dynamic content for your web pages. So I'll also told you that what is static content. Static contents is in the form of your text based. Whatever you are seeing in this PDF, that is known as a static content, that it is written in your basic HTML or XML. A dynamic content is generated by JSP tags using your Java code inside your HTML. If you are doing any processing, like if you take JavaScript, there you are using your some processing. Okay, there you are having some coding. Okay, for example, if you take some variables like a equal to 10 and b equal to some 5, and now you are going to process this, like you are going to perform some operation on this, like addition operation a plus b, then this is known as your processing. This is known as your dynamic content. Okay, so that is possible with your JSP pages. So now you may have a doubt, like what is the difference between servlets and JSP? When we already have servlets, then what is the necessity of using your JSPs? Like see, generally JSP servlets are used for generating dynamic web pages. This is what already we know. And also these two are used at your application layer, that is at the business, to use it to implement the business logic. Okay, to implement the logic in the web servers, we make use of these two technologies. But the difference between them is, the main difference, whenever someone asks you what is the difference between a servlet and what is a JSP, then you have to clearly tell them, though both are used for implementing the business logic, but so servlets are complex in nature, because in a servlet we are writing a Java code, and inside the Java code we are going to embed some HTML tags. You understand? I'm repeating it again. We are writing a Java file. In this Java file, we are writing your Java code, and in that Java code, you are going to embed the some particular HTML tags. For example, I will go back once here to the servlet program. So see, can you see a servlet program here? So in this servlet program, you are writing a Java. Okay. So in this Java, you are going to, can you see here, this in this line system print, you are creating a outwriter out.println. Inside this Java code, you are writing some HTML code. This is the main difference. Whenever someone asks you in interviews, you should be telling like this. Then in servlets, we are writing a Java code. Inside that Java code, we are using the HTML code. Okay. Whereas coming to JSP, that is opposite to this one. So you can see here in this program, what you are having a HTML file. In this HTML file, you are embedding the Java code. You understand the difference? In servlet, you are writing the Java code. Inside the Java code, you are writing HTML. Whereas in the JSP, you are writing the HTML code. Inside the HTML code, you are embedding the Java code. This is the main difference between the servlet and also your JSP. This is a implementation type of difference that you can identify in the servlets and your JSPs. But in coming to logically, when they ask you, this is a general supporting statement for the difference between your servlets and JSP. But in depth, when they ask you further, then you have to tell that servlets are the Java programs which supports the HTML tags. They are generally used for developing the business layer. This point you need to justify there. It is used to develop the business layer, that is complex computational code. Okay, since in HTML we cannot write a complex computational code, like for example object oriented things cannot be implemented in HTML or in also in JavaScript. So that's why we are selecting your servlets, where if you have a huge business logic to be implemented for your server, then you are using this servlet. Okay, this is what the point you need to specify here to developing the business layer, that is complex computational code for the enterprise applications, means for the enterprise web applications. And also these servlets are created and maintained by the Java web developers. Regularly they have to maintain these particular servlets. Like for example, if there is already mentioned, if there is any modification to the servlets, then they have to be recompiled and again they have to be maintained in the servers. Whereas coming to JSP is a HTML code, simple HTML code which supports Java statements too. So this is the difference. Here this is the difference. To be more precise, JSP embed Java in HTML using your JSP tags. That is the thing. And also this is also used for the second point is, this is used for developing the presentation layer of an enterprise application. So generally JSP can be used for both the things, for the presentation purpose and also for the business logic purpose. We can make use of JSP. Okay, whereas servlet can be used only for your business logic implementation. Frequently used for designing the websites used by your web developers. Okay, development of a web application is very easy compared of using JSP with your servlets. And also we can mention some advantages of your Java server pages. So that is, JSP has all the advantages of the servlets, like it is having the better performance than your CGIs, and also it inherits the features of Java technologies, like we can use all these object oriented concepts in your JSPs. We can also use multi-threading concepts, exception handling, and JDBC connectivity can also be done in this particular Java server pages. This is the one of the advantage. Another advantage is it enables the separation of content generation and content presentation. What do you mean by content generation? Content generation means identifying the new ideas of how to generate the contents. What are the different ways of generating the contents? What about presentation? Presentation is how we can display this particular generated content to the users. Okay, here creating new content and also presenting that new content to the user is very flexible with the JSP compared to the other business layer technologies. This is also another advantage of JSP. Coming to the third one is, with the help of this JSP, it is easy for the web designers to show the information what it is needed. So that what means this concept you have studied, that is data abstraction. You are going to show only whatever the things that are necessary, and all the inner level details you are going to hide with the help of your JSPs. This is also another advantage. And also the last one is web application programmers can concentrate on how to process and build the information. Mainly we can focus on basic things like how to process the information rather than how we are going to do it in the background. So that is also another advantage of your JSPs. No need to handle all the inner level details and all those things. So now can we say that there will be a question that can we say that JSPs are the extension to the servlet? Yes, JSP technology is the extension to the servlet technology. Okay, we can use all the servlet features in your JSPs. So whatever the features are there in the servlets, those can be used in your Java server pages. And also we can also have some additional features. Okay, compared to servlets, what we don't have is in servlets is we don't have implicit objects in the servlets. Implicit means inbuilt objects are not available in the servlet technology. Those are explicitly built in your JSP. And also we have some predefined tags that are very useful in the development of web application. And also we have a expression language, and also we have a separate package which is known as JSTL, Java Java server separate tags are available. Those tags also explicitly available in your JSPs compared to your servlets. So that's why we can call it as an extension to the servlet technology. And also another important thing of your JSPs is it is very easy to maintain the JSP files compared to your servlets. As I told you previously, you may have n number of clients. For n number of clients, your servlet should be compiled. Instance should be created for every particular request. Whereas for JSP, no need to create a instance for every particular client request. This is going to minimize the maintenance of your JSP. So here JSP can be easily maintained because we can separate the business logic with your presentation logic. Okay. In servlet technology, we are going to mix both the business logic and presentation logic. As you shown in the example, if you're writing a Java code, inside that you are going to write your presentation logic. This will be making some complexity issues. Despite of this, in JSP, what happens whenever a JSP file is executed, the Java code will be entirely separated and it will be created as a Java bin. And then this particular Java bin will be executed. The presentation layer will be handled by the JSP file, and this Java code will be handled by the Java bin. This is the main thing with your JSPs, and also it is very advantageous compared to your servlet technology. When we go to the architecture, I will show you how this particular Java JSP file is splitted into your Java code separately. Understand? Hope you understand up to here what is JSP and what are the advantages of JSP. Is several technologies extension to your JSP, and whether it is easy to maintain. And also JSPs are very easy to develop, and it is having very fast development. We need to recompile and redeploy it. As I mentioned previously, if JSP page is modified, we do not need to recompile it or redeploy the project in the server. Okay, the servlet code needs to be updated and recompiled if we have to change the look and feel of the application, whereas this is not necessary in the JSP. Okay, this is another advantage of the JSP files, and this ensures you the faster development of the web application. And also we have less code than your servlet. If you see a servlet file, you have so many classes, interfaces. You need to import so many packages for developing these servlets, whereas for JSPs no need to have all these things. It is very, we are having very less code compared to your servlets. So here we are having JSTL tags, and also custom tags can be created with the help. Main user defined tags can also be created with the help of your JSTL library. And also it reduces the code as it is using your expression language and implicit objects. This is what the another advantage. Hope you understand up to here. Did you understand? Anyone in the class? Someone give me the response. Rohit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The theory
So
part is clear. Theory part is clear, sir.
yeah, theory part is clear. Now we will deploy a simple application because time is running out. So, and then I will show you. Just confirm me that screen is available or not. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Eclipse is
It's
clear, right?
available.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It
So
is.
see, so already I created one application here, that is JSP first. I already created it here. So for example, if you want to do it, I will share you the procedure. I had taken the screenshots for all this. When I am doing this, I will share it with you. So this is the environment that is created here. So if you follow the traditional approach, you have to write all this. So in this IDE, no need to do all that. Just you can go to here, new, and you can create a project. So from that project, I will show you the procedure later when we create the second one. First, I will show you the execution of this one, and then if the time is there, then we will go for that one. So this is the environment that will be created. So here I created some sample files, that two sample files I created. That is, first one is hello.jsp file. So yeah, this will be clear. In this you can see, so this is the basic code that we are going to write. So whereas in servlet we are writing too much of the code is written. So simple HTML file, if you I think you have idea about HTML, right? You already did HTML programs. So simply we are writing this one. So first, if we categorize this one, so HTML part, HTML open tag and close tag, head section. In the head section, you are just writing the title, that is hello JSP. In the body section, I'm just writing a HTML tag like welcome to JSP. Okay, so this is what we are writing. This already you know, doc type is specified for HTML5 specification to specify that it is a HTML document. And see the difference between a HTML file, this is known as a HTML file, and this, if you add this particular code to this file, then this becomes a JSP page. So in this, what you are specifying, you need to specify. So this is written, this is the scriptlet that you are writing. So less than, that is what you are writing like this, less than percentage symbol, and then you are going to write the your JSP content. So what you are writing it here, page, you have to specify what type of programming language you are using. Here in this case, I'm using Java as my programming language. So in this page, I'm using language as Java. And what is the content type you are using? Text slash HTML content. This is all a text content and also HTML content. So that we need to specify. You need to specify the character sets and also page encoding. So these are the basic standard page encoding and character set that you are using here. Okay, this is what how you are going to write the HTML page, sorry, JSP pages. And just you can save this one. You can just right click on this, you can go to run as, and you can run on server. So you can select the server that you want to configure here. Just I'm selecting Tomcat. In this case, I can just write it as welcome to JSP. Okay, so I have another file, like we will execute that one and we will write another simple file, and then I will show you. I have another file, that is a date file. Just I will open this one. So same coding here, so same line of the code is written here. So see, same HTML, this JSP code is written, and then I have a HTML file. In this, I'm just writing a title here. So title is, I will just edit the title here. So title is date example, date example. Okay, in the body section, I'm writing some Java code here. What is the Java code I'm writing? Current time is new dot java java.util.date. So where I'm writing this one, you can see again here, I'm writing it in a scriptlet. Whatever you are having, you should write it in a scriptlet. So let me execute. I have one error. Select the Tomcat. So see, current time is Friday, May 28, 12:13. Okay, standard time is being printed. So now you may have doubt, how can you create the file here? Just you can go to source here, you can right click it here, and you are going to write, just for example, I will create it as a new Java server JSP file. A JSP file will be created, and just you give the name here. For example, in this case, I want to write it as welcome.jsp. Okay, just you can finish it. So it is creating, no need to write the code and everything, automatically IDE will give you all the code. Just you can edit the title here. So in this case I will write it as, this is my welcome file, so I just write the welcome. So I just don't want to use any HTML tag. Instead of this, I just want to use some code, like for example out dot print of welcome to JSP. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. Let me check this. Okay, right? So it is showing you that welcome to JSP. This is how easy we can write the JSP files. So this is what the Java code I am writing it here. So in this way you can write it. For example, you can also declare some variables here. So and you can process that. You can create a for loop, and you can print it for example, you can write the you can print the numbers from 1 to 10, and all this whatever you are practicing in the Java, the same thing you can deploy it here. But what you need to do is you need to just embed a JSP tag like this. For example, percentage and percentage. Here you can write whatever the Java code you are writing in your Java application, same can be written it here, and it can be executed. We will do further examples later in the class. I will give you some examples so that you can execute it. Hope you understand this one. Yes. Anyone can give me the response. Did you understand? Yes. Why you are not giving response? 5H1. See, the randomly I will select some people. So if you give the response, then only I will give you the attendance. I don't know whether you are there or not. 516. 5H8.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
5G1. Yes, anyone in the class, you have any doubt in this? The concept of what we discussed here?
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
so can you explain page encoding? Like what is page encoding?
In this example,
So page encoding and character set.
so see, defaultly we have different types of character sets, right? UTF character set is there. ISO standard character sets will be there for using whatever the characters that you are using, like alphabets, or if you are using ASCII character set. These are the basic character sets, standard character sets that you are using for using in applications. So here we are using ISO standard character set. That standard number is 8859-1. Okay, that is the character set and the page encoding that you are using. This is a standard because for example, you are developing some application and you are using one character set, and if another person is developing a application and they are using different character set, means it will be annoying while we are deploying the applications. So for that we have to use the standard character sets. So you can just go to the Google and you can Google it, what is a what is the standards that are used in this character sets. So I will tell you the usage. Why we are using is you need to follow some standard. Okay, for using what type of characters should be used in the application. So for that purpose, you are specifying the character set and also you are specifying the page encoding. Hope you understand. Any other student? Any other students having doubt? No one is having doubt? Okay, so I will just brief it again. So we'll discuss, we have been discussed about what is a introduction to your JSP, what is the use of your JSP, and how this JSP is different from HTML, and also your servlets. And also another thing is, when you have servlets, why we are using JSP, that we discuss it. What is the real-time difference between a HTML page and also a JSP page, that we discuss it. And also we discussed about how to write a simple JSP page, and what are the things that are there in your simple JSP page. And then comes to your servlet. What is the difference between your servlet and JSP, that we discuss it. What is the application level difference, that is the implementation level differences, and also what are the inner level differences between your servlets and the JSPs have been discussed. And we also discussed about what are the advantages of your JSP over your servlets, and also whether also we discussed what are the other features of your servlets, like how to maintain, it is easy to maintain development and less code is used in the servlets. So this is what we discussed, and also we discussed how to create a simple JSP application in your Eclipse IDE. Okay, so here you can go, you can say new, and you can write some project. Okay, for this you have to select a dynamic web project. I'm repeating it again. If you have Eclipse IDE, you have to download the Eclipse Enterprise Edition, development edition. So in this you can go to file, you can go to new. Those who are interested, they can just follow it. I will share you the file again. So you can go to project. So here we are having so many projects. In this projects, you can select the web project. In this you have to select the dynamic web project. You can click on the next. So you can give the project name, for example,
Our PDF is visible, sir.
PDF, sorry, one second. Oh, I will start it again. So is it visible now? Eclipse is visible. Yes, anybody, can you give the response?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So you can go to the file, you install the Eclipse version, that is Eclipse Enterprise Edition, and you can go to the file, a new, and just you come here, that is to the project. You can click on the project. So here you will get so many projects. So you can go to just web project. You want a web project here. So click on the web, you click on the dynamic web project. You can just give the next. It will ask you the what type of project name. For example, in this case, I'm going to write it as my second project. Okay, and you have to select the which type of server you are using. I'm using Tomcat 9, and just you can go here and you can click on finish. You can click on finish. So it will create you second project. So see here, it is creating you second project, right? So you can click on the source. Okay, just click on the source, right click, new, and just create a JSP file. So it will ask you some file name. You can just write it as my JSP. Just you can write my JSP file, or just you can write as first.jsp. Okay, so it is creating me the first file. Just you can write it as again welcome to JSP. This is my title. Whenever you execute here, it will show you the title here. So and then comes to here, you can write it like just percentage out dot print, okay, of welcome to JSP. Okay, that's all. You can just write it. You can just save this one. You can right click this, uh, run on server, select the server, just finish. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to place a semicolon. Just we'll run it. Select the server. Yeah, welcome to JSP. So this is how you are going to create a JSP environment, and you can create the files. Whatever number of files you want to create, you can just go to again new, and you can just create a JSP file. Again, new file will be created, and you can practice. Uh, you can take from the internet, and you can practice it. Hope you understand, everyone. Better you can leave the feedback with your CR. Thanks for joining the session, and in the next class we will continue with this JSP. Hope you understand. Please don't leave. I'll just take the. See, the problem here is you're not giving me any response. If you don't give me any response, I don't know whether you are understanding or not. You can ask me questions. It will be interesting if you ask me the questions. Or if you want any other thing like a way of explanation or any other thing, you can just ask your CR and you can tell him. And also if you want more practical, you can just tell me. I will give you the practical programs in a Word file. If you want, I will give you the assignments on this JSP once we complete 3 or more sessions. Thank you, everyone. You can leave the session.